Wistoria 1 and Sword Volume 4 Review. Toward the end of Volume 3 of Wistoria 1 and Sword, the series kick off a brand new arc which sees Will and his classmates taking part in all-student proxies. One of which there was a dive into the dungeon. Let's find out with Volume 4. The all-student proxies student nearing their last semester at Brigadon Magical Academy dive into the dungeon where they explore the first 10 floors and defeat powerful monsters, worth many credits. For the event, Will has been invited by top student Lehana to join forces with her, Wigno, an elf, who's one of the top 3 students in the school, Julius, Sion, and Colette. Of course, Julius isn't thrilled to have Will on her side after the events of the Grand Magic Festival, where the two face one another in a fierce battle, and he's beholden to Lehana's decision, and recognizes that Will is incredibly skilled, even if they're not on friendly terms. As you may expect, Will has chosen to have Sion and Colette join the party under the performance and his teammates in the Grand Magic Festival, and Lehana is so keen to have Will join their side that she's willing to accept his conditions. So the group set off for their dive into the dungeon, where to be pitted against their classmates, and the rush to collect credit for defeating monsters. But the monsters and students are the only thing they have to worry about. With the rush to defeat the master of the 10th floor, the group can't help but feel something is wrong as they come across defeated monsters everywhere, despite having taken the shortest route to their destination and seemingly being ahead of everyone else. And the party are attacked by a powerful enemy which causes the ground to cave in under them, and sends Will and his friends down to the 11th floor. The crowd are now in a dangerous position as they're in a danger zone not handled by the academy. It's unlikely that teachers will come down to rescue them, and now they split up. They're easy to picking up for the monsters on this floor. Readers who are familiar with author Fujino Mori's other series is wrong trying to pick up girls in a dungeon will be familiar with the dangers of characters explore a dungeon, as well as getting stranded somewhere. It's an interesting storyline, of course, but I will say that the arc isn't really solving the issues I was having with Volume 3, and to some extent Number 2, where the characters are lacking on development. I will say the newcomer Wigno does get developed as he ends up pairing with Will after they fall drunk on the floor, but it doesn't help the rest of the cast, and that's a shame, honestly, because how Omori handles Wigno's story is well done. It's emotional and gets the reader attached to his character. So it was frustrating that other members of the cast like Colette haven't been given the same opportunity in our sideline and favor on the newbie. Still, this arc is suitably compelling thanks to Toshiawi's artwork, with depictions of the fearsome monsters, as well as the battles against them. There's a suitably unnerving atmosphere to the whole thing once the cast fall to the 11th floor, too, which is difficult to pull off when there's so much happening otherwise. Despite some of the shortcomings of Wistoria 1 and Sword, this other artist duo are the talented pair and manage to deliver the most of the promise of the series. Hopefully, they will continue to improve it as it goes on. Wistoria 1 and Sword Volume 4 comes to the West thanks to Kodansha. Translation for the series continues to be handled by Alitia and Altina Nibley, and as usual, that reads well when there are no problems to note. Volume 4 has been released in English this month, with number 6 set to be following in early September, so was often the case with Kodansha releases. There is plenty more of this to enjoy soon. Overall, Volume 4 of Wistoria 1 and Sword is another strong entry in the series. Readers already familiar with Omori's work will recognize many of the twists and turns on offer here, but depending on how you feel about that, isn't necessarily a negative still. Still, a series I recommend despite some problems they are yet to be smoothed out. A review copy from Kodansha was supplied by Diamond Book Distributors UK, 7 out of 10.